never heard that, but that's the origin of cap. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
There's a principle that
Right.
we have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Be true to yourself. You don't have.
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was missed.
Deep in here now. Now
It's
deep.
incredible. Man. I love it.
Me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And applying the recovery out there.
Basically, I think that's the gist of it, and a lot of people don't understand that. But but me having that shop, like, I didn't even want to open up that shop. It took me 6 months to even think about opening that shop because I was terrified of doing it. Because I know that every time I open up a shop, I'd put all this energy into it, and I'd wind up recurrence of using.
Right.
I wind up getting high again.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want that to happen this time. And so I went a lot smaller than I usually go. And it took me a lot longer to build that up and to actually pull the trigger on it when I did. And one thing that has allowed me to do, like, it's allowed me to keep all the money instead of having to give 40% of it away, which is immediate price increase. But it's allowed me the freedom to be able to sit there and, like, really dictate my own schedule and be like, okay, well, I don't have to be tattooing 40 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? I can come in there, do like 3-4 tattoos a week, you know what I'm saying? And knock them out, do a really good job, and then spend the rest of my time like on the stuff that I really enjoy doing. Like, next week is going to be this PRS training. I think it's next week, right?
I think so. And it's going to be awesome for you.
But it's going to be like a whole week.
Yeah. 72 hours.
It's not next week. It's a week after that, right?
I think so. So.
But yeah, so but the thing is that I could never do that if I was working at a shop.
Right.
I could never be like, oh yeah, by the way, Isaac, I have to, take off an entire week.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I really, I'm just trying to just be Kevin and just be relaxed and focus more on my serenity and my peace and focus more on my recovery right now. And whatever that means, if I got, you can't really look at it and go, okay, well, oh, is Kevin doing enough for his recovery? I mean, like, I think by all metrics, I'm doing everything I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying my bed fees on time, doing my chores, making my little bed in the morning, coming up here my time off, doing my step work with the sponsor, going to a home group, setting up the home group, going to my community meetings, taking my PRS class, bringing the Henrico East Jail, meeting in there, going to my sponsor's home group, all these things, like, that's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And but it's easy for me to do. Like, I don't have to sit there and, like, it's not like it's a chore to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as a result, like, I just got my black key tag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
That's serious.
Yeah.
That's a serious thing.
This guy right here.
There we go. A recovery object, as we call them. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, really, like, it's just a black key tag. It's a piece of plastic. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, it doesn't, yeah, it means something a lot, but it's.
But it doesn't get you 10% off at CVS. Is that
yeah, like, really, this is not the important part.
Right.
But this is, this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This black key tag represents who I am, I don't represent the black key tag.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's, what 2 years of clean time will get you.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
So, but yeah, things are going well in that aspect. I think I've droned on long enough. I think we can.
So what else are you doing right now to keep yourself busy? Farming? You've been farming as well?
Oh, my God. All right. All right. So I'm tattooing. That's going swimmingly. That's going really well. Should I go into this?
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Probably not if you're hesitating. It's
Yeah.
probably awful.
Right. Well, there's a reason I'm farming. Yes, I have. So, like, I'm trying to spend, more time, like, at the recovery house. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll just
yeah, that's a good
do
way
it
to
like
put
that.
Good way to put it.
I try to spend more time at the recovery house. So if I do that, I need something to do at the house
in a trusted, healthy environment. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, because like the thing is, if I'm at the recovery house, I'm not going to be spending money.
Nope.
I don't. If I'm at the recovery house, like I know I'm safe there. And if I'm there, like I want to give myself something to do besides just sitting there, like scrolling on.
Yeah, phoning.
Yeah, like, oh hey, what happened? Ooh, another Facebook reel. Like
right.
It gets old real quick, and it makes us be like, oh well, this sucks. Like this is what my life is. So I wound up getting a PS5 the other day, and I got Farming Simulator.
I think that's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
I like simulations. They're just
like it's so stupid. Like it's like people are like, you just bought a $500 gaming system to buy a Farming Simulator. I'm like,
it's a very realistic simulator. People.
It's very realistic, and it's just like my favorite thing to do on that really is mowing the lawn. Like literally, like
right.
Like I'll just be sitting there. Like if you think about it, like if you have a really hectic day, like you do all this crazy stuff, like throughout the day, like do I want to sit there and come back home and have to play Call of Duty where I'm sitting there like, all right, he's 400 meters across the bunker. Like, right. No.
Trying to stay alive. Yeah.
No, I just want to mow the grass and watch the grass get cut. Like, I'm like, this is great. It's great.
I can see the appeal. See the appeal.
It's very nice. It's very relaxing. And I don't know, like, it's crazy. I'll just think about this. It kind of reminds me of my dad. Like, he was a fighter pilot for 25 years. And now his favorite thing to do is sailing.
Okay. That makes sense.
Fly
a boat.
Well, I mean, like on a sailboat.
Yeah, right.
Like going like 6 miles an hour listening to Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
So I'm like, am I turning into my dad over here? Is that what's going on?
It's one of the natural tendencies in life, I think, is to become our parents in some form or fashion.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the gist of it, like what I'm getting at though, throughout this whole kind of conversation is just like, the importance of keeping your life simple, reducing the stress in your life instead of adding more to it, and like actively forming your schedule and your routine throughout the week, and like to highlight that, if that makes any sense. Like like actively make your life simpler and more structured, so it's like, okay, well, I know I'm doing recovery activities like, throughout the week, and that I can actually plan that.
Reduces the anxiety of what's going to happen next and what you have to do next.
Yeah. It's not like you're just sitting there like, so, cause this is what I used to do. I used to just be like, okay, well, and this is one of the issues now with the new shop is that I'm sitting there. When I first started it, I didn't put any breaks in my calendar.
Right.
And I have the scheduling app so that people can like schedule themselves, and everybody wants to schedule as soon as possible and load that schedule up. They're like, oh, you have a free space right here.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm doing like 18 tattoos in a week, and I'm sitting there going like, all right, good. Like y'all need to chill.
That's enough.
Yeah, like y'all need to chill. Like, so I was like, all right, I gotta do something. I gotta put some, slots in here to make it so that I can actually be able to take Kevin time, and that's been, very helpful.
Right.
So that's kind of, my thing is just, I know that for one thing, I have a breathalyzer in my car. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I know that I can't go out and drink and drive.
Right.
You know,
That's one thing off the list.
that's a guardrail.
It is.
Me having to take a piss test every once in a while, like here, it would probably behoove me to not,
It'd be in your best interest not to.
I don't want to screw this up,
Right.
and then on top of that, I'm on probation, which actually I just got off on Henrico, and I'm about to get off in New Kent. Like, I got the money for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got to take care of that this week sometime. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But so those are all guardrails that I have in place, and I just equate it to, like, if I move out,
Right.
then I equate that to drinking. And if I'm drinking, then I equate that to getting high. And I don't want to, like that. That's why I've just been hesitant.
Yeah, that's really advanced and mature of you to realize where your weakness is.
Well, if you want to talk about what the change is, it went from people telling me to not move too quickly
mm-hmm.
to now they're like, "Hey, Kevin, move a little quicker."
It's a good indicator right there.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
It's not terrible. I think that's the biggest change, though, and like, I mean, there's a lot more change than that, though. Like, I think the personality change that's come from this whole thing has been a huge like unpredicted
mm-hmm.
factor of this. Like I said last time I was here, I used to be like, okay, but, now it's not that way at all. And like I came out of here, literally I had a box full of my stuff and I was the happiest I could be, and it was just like, life was very simple. Yeah. So I'm trying to keep that simplicity in there, and I'm trying to keep that, like, that innocence almost.
Right.
And when I have that, and I'm not trying to impress anybody, I'm not trying to, like, prove to anybody that I can do something. What I'm saying? Like that's completely unnecessary now.
Mm-hmm.
Like what actually goes a lot further in, people respecting you and people liking you is if you don't try to impress them.
Yeah, exactly. That changes the power structure there, doesn't it?
If you just be yourself and you just, like, you can be vulnerable, like you don't have to, try to hype yourself up or whatever. Like you can, have, you can be sad. You can be, like whatever. You can have emotions, you can be yourself. And that just goes a lot farther, than if you always need to try to, worry about what somebody else is thinking. So
yeah, live up to the part that you've decided you need to play. Exactly.
That's so great. Yeah, live up to the part that you try to construct.
You're writing for yourself. Just authenticity. That's what I think.
Authenticity.
Right?
That's perfect. Love it. Why don't you? We're interview. I should be the one interviewing you.
Maybe.
But
we'll do that next time.
You nailed it on the head.
I've seen you come around here. Like, one thing that changes, that I see people get more success from and long-term success is they choose to come here. And I see you interact with the newcomers here. So
yeah.
Tell us about that. What do you get out of that? How do they seem to you?
Well, I mean, like, I would like more facilitating, opportunities. I've been trying to do that for 8 months now, right?
That'll come.
But maybe the PRS will help me get more opportunities for that.
It absolutely will.
But I do like, when I first got here, I was at the Scott House, and I didn't really have a job, so they made me come up here all the time. And just being around the guys, like, it's a good feeling. Like you get to, like, people in recovery are just people regardless. But you get to build these relationships with these guys. And I like going to like doing the 10th step
Mhm.
at over there. Like that's I really enjoy that. But you see everybody like, hey Kevin, how's it going? Like they're just hanging out.
Right.
And it's a good feeling. But like I definitely like to have more like opportunities to like facilitate groups. I think that'd be a good thing. But if I don't have any recovery to give, if I don't have any advice, or if like my life is going down the toilet,
Right.
like why would I want somebody to sit there and listen to what I have to say? Why would I want to sit there and try to be, oh yeah, do what I do? No.
Right.
Like, so I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing consistently.
Mhm.
And then I can actually try to to help the next person.
Yeah.
So but it comes from within. It just doesn't, it's not about what you say, it's about how you act and how you live your life. So but I think those are all kind of, I don't know, if the spiritual principles, whatever, like I think it's
They're
just
tough to define sometimes. But
yeah, just try to be a good person.
yeah.
So but really, like the staff here has become my family.
Mhm.
Like straight up, except for Steve.
I'm an exception.
Yeah, all right. That was funny. Like, I was talking to somebody about like, he's a newcomer, right? And I was talking about like recovery coach sessions. He was like, my recovery coach never talks to me. And I'm like, listen, let me explain something to you, right? When I was going through intensive, Steve was my recovery coach, and it wasn't like Steve came and made recovery coach sessions with me.
Right.
I was up here constantly.
Yeah, we did one long session. I think it was 4 weeks.
Yeah, literally. And every day I was like, look, I made a checklist. I was like, we gotta get boom, 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 boom. And we rocked through that checklist.
Well, you were starting from zero that time around. You had no ID. You had no license, just all the things.
This is shit. I mean,
all the things that make a human life in America doable right now.
Yeah, and we got them all done. And even to the point where I think they were giving you a hard time with saying, "Oh, you're having too much recovery coach sessions with Kevin."
Possible.
And I was like, "Well, let's keep on going." Like screw them. Like we're gonna keep. We got stuff to do.
Full steam ahead.
Yeah. And so that was what I was trying to explain to him, was just that, like, it's not about your recovery coach coming to you to try to give you sessions. You need to have the initiative to sit there and take your recovery in your own hands and try to be like, look, what can I do instead of what they can do for me?
Right.
That makes any sense.
Yeah, I think it goes a lot better if you go actively find your recovery rather than wait for it to come to you. It's not going to usually.
No.
That's a rare day when it just falls out of the sky on you.
And that's crazy. I mean, like, 'cause I still think that, like, I just have that mentality. Like, I just, like, I don't try to make excuses as to why I can't do things. Like, I literally just, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to do it because I have to. Like, there's no, I don't know. Like, I just do things. And, like, I don't wait for people to ask, like, to tell me what to do. I'm just like, all right, well, like, now what can we do? What else can we do to try to, improve my life, or to try to make things better, or whatever,
Right.
like, and I, that's just a mentality I have. And it's like, when I see other people that don't have that mentality, like, it kind of hurts a little bit, because I'm like, I want them to have that mentality. I want them to have that drive or that fire. And, like, it hurts. You have no control over that. So,
yeah, and it's like something you can't really tell them how to do, but by doing it yourself, you show them.
Yeah.
That's why it's particularly valuable. People like you that come up here.
But it's also, I have to be careful about that also, because, like, that's my problem, is that I just have that. I can't turn that off.
Right.
Like, it's just, like, And that was my issue beforehand. I was always just like, okay, I know I can do it, so I'm going to do it, and then just go, 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 go. And then if we survive at the end of the day, we made it, like. But like, so I have to kind of tone that down a little bit, because that's a big character flaw of mine, is that I'll just want to do too much. Like I literally have full send tattooed on my face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, like that's something I've tried to just adjust in my life is, like the other day, like I'll put this into perspective, right? So, I got approved for this $13,000 vehicle loan, right? So I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a 45-foot long bus.
Right. So you're taking on the a mega project,
right?
Right.
So I mean,
a whole lifestyle change.
Look, I went and looked at this bus. Like literally, like I went and talked to the people. I like got started writing a business plan. Like talked to the upholstery. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I sat there for a second. I was like, hold up. Like, what am I doing? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like where, I'll have these ideas and then start implementing them.
Next thing you know, they're starting to happen, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like let's back up a little bit. Like, whereas beforehand I would just be like, I would just do it. I'll just do it.
Right.
And, so that's something I've just been trying to, like work on is just do stuff like that, but that's just how my mind works. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to, it's hard for a lot of us to talk ourselves out of some awesome thing just to see if it's going to work, And,
oh, it'll work.
And the next thing you know, you've got this new responsibility and you're tied up and you lost what you had before. And
yeah, I mean, just because you can do something doesn't mean you need to do something.
Right.
Like, and, something I heard the other day was like, consistency over long periods of time, even if it's a small amount of effort, if you do it consistently over a long period of time, that goes a lot further than passionate intensity over a short period of time. Yeah. And my life has been filled with just nothing but passionate intensity over short periods of time. Mm-hmm. And what happens with that is that, it doesn't really, you wind up back in jail a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if you don't, it's not sustainable, it's
no.
And then you feel bad. You're like, I'm failing because I'm not like 1,000% all the time.
Yeah. But when you move slower and you move more, like consistently and, like you build up these foundations naturally without you having to put a lot of like excess energy into it.
Right.
It's just like, all right, well, I have to move the monitor over there. Let me just move it instead of going, I have to do all this shit.
All these things have to happen. Right
yeah.
now.
Like, you just do it, like, and over a long period of time, it's like, things just kind of, are fine, like, and that's kind of, the mentality that I'm trying to get into now is just like, just slow down, don't fly that F-14 anymore. Just ride the sailboat.
Yeah, there you go. Drive the tractor.
I've gotten pretty good at the game too. Like I just, when I first started, I mean, I'm still screwing up. Don't get me wrong, but
it's a tough business for me. It's complex.
Tell you what, I'm very good at getting like tractors stuck in trees and stuff like that. Like, just trailers wrapped around mountains and
right.
Like, how did this even happen?
What's your favorite tractor on the game?
Here we go. We're really talking about farming.
Yeah, we are because this tape is free. It's not like VHS. So.
Right. I mean, really, like my favorite tractor is my John Deere.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's my John Deere. It's got the most power on it. But that new combine harvester that I just bought, pretty sweet.
Are these like the big ones with the air conditioner and the?
I don't know. You can't really feel the air conditioner. Right. It's all digital.
You feel the ones and O's just going across your skin.
Yes.
Bits and bytes.
Yeah. Just blow on me and make it seem like
right.
the air is rushing through my hair. But no, I mean, it's just something to do at home. Maybe eventually I'll get another game. Everybody's like, give me a hard time, like, oh, you're playing Farming Simulator. Like, chill.
It works for you. So,
I haven't played video games since like 2008. I've never bought a system before, so I don't. There are all these new games that are out, and I'm like, I don't know. They're like, what about Grand Theft Auto or some racing? I'm like, no, just give me the farm.
Yeah, you're not looking for adrenaline. Just
yeah. But I do think there's been a lot of change mentally and like the way I just carry myself, and as far as the future goes, like I don't know, man. Keep on doing the thing.
Keep on going.
Yeah, keep on doing this.
Yeah. Well, we're about to close up, but what would you say out there to somebody that's that's brand new or considering this kind of lifestyle?
Oh my God. Just keep on. No.
It's still out there, that's still out there or locked up because this might get on a tablet.
Oh yeah, this might. Well, yeah.
That's a tough one. It is.
Yeah. Like so if you're locked up, don't do strips,
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. Like I literally stayed clean the entire time I was locked up.
Yeah, you came out in better shape than you.
And if I was, let me put it this way: if I was a good criminal, then I would actually be able to get away with the bad things that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I'm not a good criminal,
right?
So the only way I was able to get through the RISE program was by literally making it so that they cannot give me a charge.
Mm-hmm.
They can't kick me out if I don't get a charge. So that's one thing I learned. They can't give you a speeding ticket if you don't speed.
If you don't
ever.
speed, yeah.
Just that. So just do the right thing. Like don't try to get away with things. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to bite you in the ass. So I didn't say all
No,
that.
you didn't. You did well.
But yeah, that's one thing. Like, just try to do the right thing. Like, don't do illegal things. It's a simple concept, but
right.
If you just harp on that, then that's going to get you go pretty far in life. And like jail sucks, but the thing is it's not permanent. No,
nothing is.
Even though it seems like it's very permanent.
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
It all ends, and then it all depends on what you do when you get out too.
What would you say they should do when they get out? Should they take some time and just or should they go straight to a recovery situation?
You should come to McShin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good plug, right?
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of people that I see them right before they get out, and they're like, "I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that."
It sounds
they hesitate, and then they don't make it here.
I hate it when people say, "Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that." Just tell me when you're done with it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, you're going to do all this stuff. Just do it. Just do it. Don't make excuses for yourself. Don't, whatever. Just do it. And then tell me once you're done.
Right.
And then we'll see how it goes. I do know that, the reason I was able to get this black T tag is because I'm here at McShin.
Right.
Like, I can't say that I wouldn't have got it had I not been at McShin, but I know from the facts that I'm still at McShin and I'm still clean.
There we are.
A 1-to-1 relationship.
Right.
So,
right.
It seems to be working so far. Maybe I don't know where the next step is. Well, I do know I'm going to keep on doing step 2. And then probably after that, I'm going to work on step 3 and then step, you know what I'm saying?
That's a pretty good plan right there.
Yeah. Just keep it simple. I already have a full-blown tattoo shop that's rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have my business already good. I got my license, I got my car, I got everything I need. I got clothes, I got, people in my life. Okay, well, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
We just keep it rolling.
Yeah, sustain. Just sustain.
Just keep that life that I build up right now, just keep it moving.
Right.
I don't have to add anything else. I don't have to come up with these old grandiose ideas. I just have to keep on a daily basis, just do these little things. And this is my life.
Right.
It's like hitting a vape. You know what I'm saying? It's like all I do is hit it again, hit it again. You know, it's like this is life. You know, and eventually, you know, I don't know.
Just keep breathing and keep trucking.
Basically,
Yeah.
But you know, if you want to, you know, getting out of jail, I can tell you what. Like, I came out of jail and I had nothing, and I'm now at McShin, and now I have everything that I need. Like, would that have happened otherwise? Probably. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. Like, that's not what happened.
Right.
You know, but I know that I'm here at McShin, and that's what got me my feet off the ground. That you know, like, you know, could this have happened at another recovery organization?
Possibly.
But I don't know. That's not what happened.
Yeah, this is the only present you know.
Yeah. And I think I'm doing pretty good. I mean, like, you know, I'm trying. I'm not perfect. You know,
none of
like,
us are.
I screw up a lot. You know, like Jesse will be the first one to tell you about that. Sheesh. But you know, like, I don't know. I'm really trying the best I can.
Yeah, you're staying pretty well within the lines, you know. So,
God,
but we like having you around, and we're glad you joined us today.
Right.
And we'll do this again. You know, catch up again.
I like it.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to do this.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Good to.
Yeah, and now I have to pee.
That's a good note to end on. Thank you, everybody. We'll